Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of December 20th, 2021. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Every week we chat about the things that parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week we're complaining about holiday fails and obsessing about holiday do-overs. We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today we are talking about holiday gifts. Christmas, as we are recording this, Christmas is just around the corner. And I don't know about y'all, but I am racing to buy Christmas presents, and I'm just going to put it out there. I apologize in advance if it's not a good present this year. I am doing this in my world very last minute, and I cannot get my head around what people, they haven't given me lists. So I'm doing a lot of guessing. And
oh dear.
People are just going to get what they get.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So they may think it's the best gift they've ever received, or the worst gift, or the weirdest gift, but we're just going to roll with it. And yeah, so that's kind of our topic today is what is the best gift you have received, or the worst gift?
Things you can do that. You can just say, I'm just getting stuff. Maybe it'll be a terrible gift, but you have to then not care. And you have to laugh when people don't like it and say, well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But if secretly in the back of your head, you're thinking, I bet they'll like this, even though I put no time into it.
You might be hugely disappointed.
Then you'll be sad.
So I can start this one off, this conversation off, because this isn't necessarily the worst gift I've ever received. It was probably like the most last minute gift I've ever received. I don't know. I've probably talked about this before, but one Christmas when my kids were young and my husband was working a lot and traveling a lot. And he's, Kate, to BH, like he is not the best present giver to begin with. He doesn't listen to this podcast, so I can say that. But like his love language is other things. Like he just gifts are not his thing, right? And so he was, and at the time we were still giving each other Christmas gifts. We don't do that anymore, but that's a whole other story. Not that that's bad, but anyway. So it was very last minute, and it was like, so he'd been traveling and just busy with kids and stuff, and on Christmas Eve, he's like, I'm going to take Kristen, my daughter, and we're going to go out and run some errands. So I knew like that was code word for, I got to go buy you a gift. And I was like, okay, yeah. Okay. So I was kind of setting up for Christmas Eve, and I'm like, okay, you go ahead. And I said, do you want a list of errands? And he says, no, I know exactly what I'm doing. And so he went out, and like he was literally back in like 10 minutes. It was just so fast. I'm like, okay, that wasn't a good sign. But the next morning I get my gift, and it's, lo and behold, a coffee maker. I'm like, wow, that's great. Like, thank you. Where did you go for this? Like, and he's like, oh, I just went down the street so we have our version of Dunkin' Donuts in where I used to live. Tim Hortons. Thanks.
Yeah,
Tim Hortons.
Of course, Tim Hortons.
And so at the time they were selling their coffee makers. And he went to the drive-thru and ordered a coffee maker. with Kristen in the car seat. Picked it up.
His gift was he gave you 10 minutes of alone time without a toddler.
Well, there you go.
Exactly. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, why did you think of this? How did you think of this? Yeah, so he ordered a coffee maker at the drive-thru, and that was my Christmas gift that year.
Well,
wow.
Coffee is delicious. So.
It is. And it was good coffee. It was just like, this is so random. It's probably the most random gift is what it is.
Right.
Anyway, that's my story. That was a long one, but Next. Love you, Peter, if you're listening to this.
I think that goes with like weirdest.
Yeah. Randomist.
Right.
Randomist. See, my husband always asks me what I want and then has me order it and wrap it for myself. So we never have that problem. Maybe I make him wrap it. But I'm definitely in charge.
My husband is definitely like, he is a gift giver. Like that is his thing.
Oh.
And, so like the very first Christmas that we were together, I can't remember what I got him, but it was probably like a sweater. Like it was, right. I mean, we hadn't been dating for all that long. And he got me a bicycle.
What?
And a suitcase. And there was more. And like, there was this giant pile because, the bike was huge and the suitcase and, and I mean, it turned out that the bike he got like a special, one of his friends, their work had like these extra bikes and they were selling it, like it wasn't expensive, right. But I was just like, oh no, I messed up.
Did you feel like really awkward?
Yes, I felt really bad. Like I was not prepared for this at all.
It's almost like you need to lay down ground rules, right? When you in those beginning years, like what the expectations are.
Yes. I would say I made up for it. Like I have gotten him some good gifts in the interim, in the following 20 years. Like when I think I mentioned this on the, I'm sure I mentioned this as a roundup item, but when I got him like the painted portraits of our dogs as a gift, he loved that.
That's great.
Sure. That was a good one.
That's a good gift.
Yes.
Wow.
I always want to come up with something like that and just never can. So just go with something.
Well, but then the problem is like you've done that and then.
Oh, then you have to top yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Or even just match. Like.
Yeah. You have a reputation now.
Right.
And so if you just give a coffee maker, it's going to be incredibly underwhelming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have also given my husband kitchen things because that's what he wants. And I see it as a very generous gift because I do not want any more stuff. But yet sometimes I do give him these things because that's what he wants. And I can't think of anything else. So I've, sublimated my own need to not have so much stuff in the kitchen by getting him a gift.
Yeah.
How about you, Terry? What are some
best
gift tales?
Best gift received is an easy one. We brought our kids home from Russia on December 1st. Aww. And just in time for the holidays. So it's pretty hard to beat that.
Right.
And I don't want to say worst gift because I know people gave these with, out of the goodness of their hearts and felt like they're really going to like this. This will really be a good one. And I just hate to say for those, because, but it's at the same time, golly, you don't know me at all. That's kind of sobering. I feel bad. My sister-in-law, Linda, if you're listening to this, I know you meant well, babe. I don't mean to be mean. I'm really sorry. But you sent us like 10 chocolate-covered candy apples. And that's quite a box to open up. That's a lot of candy apples. And they're big and chocolate-covered and hard as a rock. And one member of our family doesn't like chocolate. And 2 members of our family are trying not to eat a lot of big, sweet things. And 4 members of our family would like to keep all our teeth in our mouths. And so consequently, it's like, what do we do with these? What exactly are we going to do with these? We certainly are not going to eat them. So I'm thinking, could we take them off the stick and like chip off the chocolate part and eat it as a candy bar? And they just look, they are large.
They're intimidating.
They are intimidating. They don't
Terry?
Invite you to take a bite.
Right.
Terry, I have a solution for you, or maybe an inspiration.
Yes.
I just came across a TikTok where it's the son of an Iron Chef.
Yeah.
And he brings him all kinds of like fast food and like 7-Eleven food and like just random food. And he's like, turn this into something gourmet.
Oh, there you go.
So the chef like takes it all apart and then creates a whole new wonderful thing. Right. And so, maybe you might find some inspiration if you deconstruct. I think
that is the secret.
Your gift.
I think we chip off the chocolate, melt it down, cut the apples off and make some sort of chocolate topped apple pie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I honestly don't think that the shell of these things would give way to teeth. I think teeth would give way to them. So
it's like opening a coconut. You need like a hammer.
Exactly. I believe a hammer would be required. So that was a gift we received recently and is sitting on our dining room table while we think
about what to do.
Okay. Another sister-in-law and my husband's brother gave me one time a screensaver, back when screensavers were a thing that you gave people. Do you remember those days? That used to be a thing you'd go buy at the store and give to people. And it was a screensaver from Melrose Place that was for a PC. Now, the reason they thought this was their greatest gift, and I know they saw that and thought, oh my gosh, that's for Terry. This will be so great. I had a cat named Melrose, which they assumed that I had named after Melrose Place, when in fact I had named her after Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. And actually, I had named her after a character in a novel I wrote that I named after Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. So none of this had anything to do with Melrose Place. I never watched Melrose Place. And also I had a Mac, not a PC. So I believe that item is still sitting in my husband's closet where we put all the gifts we don't know what to do with. It's been there for years and years because they meant so well.
Right.
I don't want to throw it away. And yet it's completely uninteresting and useless to me.
You might get some interest on eBay.
That's true. You know what? I should dig it out and see if I could sell it on eBay. I bet I could get a pretty penny. But, this is where I want to say, everybody, go to Tim Hortons, go through the drive-thru, get me a coffee maker. I can use that. Don't try to come up with something I would like. It's not going to work.
My grandmother. I'm sorry. Did you have another one?
I have a worst gift giving experience, but go ahead with yours first.
Well, I was just going to say that my grandmother, my dad's mother, was famous for her interesting gifts. And like one of the ones I remember was that my mom, when I was growing up, had a lot of plants. And she, we had like this we had like a sunroom that had windows all on 3 sides, and she had glass shelves and they were all covered with plants, and she was into her plants. And so my grandmother gets her this contraption that you attach to your kitchen faucet, and it's a hose like you're meant to use in the house. Like you screw it onto your kitchen faucet and then you drag it, 3 rooms away to wherever the plants are and water the plants.
No, I was thinking more like toddler covered in finger paint. Why even bother to go outside?
It was just like, I'm sure she never used it because she was like, how is this ever? There's no way that this doesn't end with just water, all the way from the sink to the destination. So,
but I bet the nighttime infomercial on that was really convincing.
Yes. Exactly.
Wait, there's more. Towels.
Yes. So what was your other one you were
saying? Mine is another mean-spirited thing about my husband's family. When we had just gotten married, I think it was like our first Christmas married. He has three sisters who for some reason intimidate the heck out of me, even now, but certainly then. And for some reason, I don't think we ever did this again, but for some reason we were doing a gift exchange or we were going to their house and I wanted to bring them gifts or something. They all had children. So I got some games for each family, a game for each family. And then I wrapped them. And then came the time to write the gift tag. And I knew one of these cousins hyphenated her name, but I wasn't sure whether the family as a whole went by the hyphenate or whether I would use the husband's last name for the family, because it was like for the blank family.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And of course, my husband, having known these people for all his life, was no help at all. His help was basically, it doesn't matter. Why are you obsessing about this? Doesn't matter. Just put anything. Doesn't matter. Well, of course, I put the husband's name. And of course, she pulled me aside and said, my name is not here anywhere. Why didn't you use you know that I'm, hyphenated and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm never going to give you a present. You could not take mercy on the poor newlywed in the family when you know her husband would not give her any help. My husband has many wonderful qualities, but you can figure that he wasn't going to sit down and talk through the politics of family naming with me. You had to know that. So it's like, so I obsess about what to put on tags and what to put on the envelopes of cards all the dang time. Thank you very much. So, gift giving, we could just stop it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, right?
Let's have like a universal basic gift giving where every American gets $50 for Christmas to go spend as they please. And nobody has to buy anybody anything.
Yeah. I'm with you, Terry. I mean, can we just stop it at a certain age, even just for kids, and then that's it. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's stressful.
It is. It's stressful. And I mean, of course, when you have kids and you think, oh my gosh, this thing I got is the best, they're gonna love it. And it's like they rip off the paper and they play with the box, or they play with it one time and then never, ever, ever play with it again. And it's like, well, the excitement was enjoyable.
Right. The box was great.
The run up to giving this to my child was awesome. Oh, well.
Yes. Well, anyway, we hope that your holiday week is filled with good gifts, or at least gifts that don't stress you out in some way. And you can always tune in to our podcasts if you need a few stories to get you through. So that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.